So yeah, hi. Slanty camera, slanty camera, slanty camera. Whoop, 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 whoop. Are you dizzy? Are you getting motion sickness? Are you getting? I'm sorry. So yeah, day four. And yeah, another interesting day. Went to church. Come back. Um, uh, it was kind of a standard day, really. Well, video games and stuff. Tell you what, did start to play. This is not going to be a whole topic of the thing. I have something else to talk about, but I did start to play Spider Man Shattered Dimensions. That is the one where you play as the four different Spider Man: the Amazing Spider Man, Spider Man Noir, Spider Man 2099, and Ultimate Spider Man. Um, and yeah, I started to play that, and I don't really like it that much because I think my problem was I played um, Edge of Time, which is this sequel, not sequel, uh, to this game. I say that because it doesn't feature any of the only thing it has was Amazing Spider-Man and 2099, that used those two characters in there, and it was they used some of the two of the voices, but they weren't the exact roles from those two parts. But um, yeah, I prefer the how the each of the Spider-Man played in that, and then when I go back to this one and see how different the feel is, like how they use, like with the Amazing Spider-Man in Edge of Time, you have it wasn't accelerated vision, but like you have like a super sense. It's like basically Spider-Man uses his yes, fine. Uses his spider sense to speed up his movement because since Spider-Man has a high reaction time due to his spider sense, it allows him to dodge in and out of um, uh, dodge attacks and lasers and stuff and all these kinds of puzzles that you find in the environment. And I prefer that over the dodging system they had in the Shattered Dimensions, and in Accelerated Vision in Edge of Time was better because you get like this a decoy while you are moving at a heightened speed. Since you're not Peter Parker, you're Miguel O'Hara, who created Spider-Man from the Spider-Man 2099. His powers from Peter Parker's genes, and that's a whole nother story. But basically, he uses technology to give him accelerated vision, where he kind of slows down the environment while he becomes faster than the environment and creates a decoy, and allows him to get the upper hand on his opponents. I preferred the way they did that, and then in the 2099. Don't say it was a bad game, but going back, I prefer that one to this one. But I do say that Spider Noir is a very good one to play because I like the whole stealth game thing, and I might get Splinter Cell this week actually. Blacklist, since it's not Blacklist. I like stealth games, and like using Spider-Man in a stealth game was very very good. But enough of that stuff. Yeah, I thought I'd talk about a comic book series that I was reading. I keep looking down at it. But it is Avengers Arena. Fresh this one right here, and it was done by Marvel, obviously, and I borrowed it off Matt because he said he started reading it and can't remember what his complaint was with it. I think it was basically because it was his words, a Hunger Games ripoff. His words, not mine. From what I can remember, but and he felt, and I was like, well, I'll read it because I like to read new things and get more into this world. So off I went reading Avengers Arena, and it's slow to begin with because first I think I forgot her name. It's Metal and Sneak Nika or Nico or something, but basically her powers are that she produces, like, she constantly gives out radioactivity and she has to live in this hazmat suit, and her boyfriend is like this Red Skull looking guy, but he's made out of metal, or his like skin is indestructible, and therefore he's called the metal. And it starts off like saying in the first issue anyway, starts at day 29, and she the radioactive girl, that's not her name, I'll figure it out. And it's like, and she was being chased by X-23, and X-23, as you know, if you don't know, is a clone of Wolverine, and she was just going feral and going after this girl. So then it backtracks, and then it talks. It mentions that the Avengers, basically, the Avengers. Well, imagine the Charles Xavier School for Higher Learning, but for mutants. Mutants. That's what it's there for. But for Avengers, like kids who became superpowered or mutant or otherwise, but mutants go to the Xavier School. But like they develop superpowers and they go to the Avengers Academy to train to become Avengers. So hence Avengers Academy. And the kids that were left in that school during a holiday period, I believe it looks like, they were taken by a guy called Arcade. He's been a villain before. It's the first I've heard of him, but again, I started reading comics 2 years ago. Basically, he builds these elaborate death traps, and he just wants to see who will win, and he enjoys the thrill of the game. And he basically set up this Hunger Games like system where he drops these kids into a world, and it's like, all right, you guys ain't gonna leave until one of you is left standing. So yeah, good luck. And that happens, and let me show you. Like there is a cover. Like it's literally here it is, the third issue, and it's just exactly the same as Hunger Games. Like see, it's just the A, but as the Hunger Games logo. And okay, like that aside, there yes, it's very Hunger Games esque, but just because something takes from a popular story or story and or medium doesn't mean it is a rip-off or a straight carbon copy but with a different set of paint. If it brings something more to the table, it can be seen as something else, and that's how a lot of good stories are made. A lot of stories are based around tropes, and it's how the writers use that trope to create the story. So, reading Avengers Arena, I've read the 4 that he gave me anyway. This is the first 4. It was kind of slow. So, like, it's trying to progress this day by day cycle, and with pretty much each issue, and but at the same time trying to introduce new characters that you are not too familiar with. Like there is again, forget her name, but she is here's the whole name. Give me a second to find all the names, because it says it in the comic, and I'll be able to show you what their names are. Okay, here we go. The radioactive girl is called Hazmat, and the girl I am about to tell you about is called Cammy, Cammi. And as far as we know, she is when she was at Sword, taken in by Sword, which is basically the space version of Shield. She was like, "You look like a regular girl, like through all your DNA tests, but what are you doing halfway across the galaxy, fighting with Star-Lord and Rocket Raccoon?" So they tried to introduce her backstory in the second issue, but whilst also progressing the story. But like it's showing how each of the different characters, and I don't want to say tributes, but I'm guessing I have to say tributes, are put onto this one island, and how they pair off and how they react to each other, because it's basically kill or be killed. And it's very, like I said, very slow, but I think it has to be slow to like get. Well, then again, it's got. Well, let me finish out the first thought. It has to be slow to start to allow time for you for all the characters to be explored, whether that's through flashbacks or through telling of the story in present day. But at the same time, you can say it's unnecessarily slow. Why don't they just go through these and have them do it all through exposition, or why not? Why didn't you just use older characters and characters that you knew already. But the second part, where's the fun in that? Where is the fun in using characters that you've known and you've pretty much developed a relationship and you've built this good story up but instead of bringing in new characters which you can have more free reign with and you could do more with them to within this world. So I thought, okay, so I like to give things a fair chance. If I get to like issue 10, or if it's something like outrageously bad, I'll shorten it down by how many much I feel is acceptable. If I get to issue 10 and I still don't like it, I will say, okay, this is, for me, from reading the first 10 issues, this is a bad arc or a bad series for me. But since I've only read the first 4, yes, it's slow, Hunger Games esque, but it's similar, not quite different enough yet, because there is still the threat of one game master affecting the environment. But you know, you have the twist of superheroes, and how do that work on the world? Like, quick last thing, Nico, she was part of the Runaways. I think it's Nico. Yeah, Nico. She was the girl who, like, the way her powers work is that she cuts herself, and then she summons this staff, and she can use. It's a guessing game for her. Her magic powers come from words, but she cannot repeat a spell. So, and then that spell will have a random effect, effectively, on how how it affects her target, shall we say. So, like, for example, she uses her powers on this tree, and she uses the spell Uproot. Now, that takes the tree out of the ground, basically roots it, but it produces a magical fruit, which keeps you sustained and whatnot. And she tries to use that as a bargaining chip to get protection, but then that blows up in her face. And that kind of thing with the superpowers makes it more interesting, and like how it can change the story rather than just being 12 regular kids with high skill sets, or just being thrown into this world and how they fare. How does the superpowers augment the story and the not reality but the setting, and how this story will play out. Do they all manage to find a way to stay alive and defeat the bad guy in the end, or is it there's many men into one man leaves kind of thing? Like, how does it all end? But these came out a while ago, and yeah, I think it's on about 16 now. So I've got a bit of catching up to do. In the near future, you'll probably hear more about this comic from me. So yeah, a slightly longer one, it's a longish one, but yeah, those are my kind of basic feelings on the first 4 issues of Avengers Arena. And yeah, that will be day 4. And yes, stay tuned for tomorrow, day 5. I think, yeah, probably beginning of the Avatar-a-thon. Me and the guys go through and watch Avatar from start to finish, the TV show. So yeah, look forward for those videos. Probably a vlog about that sometime tomorrow. And yeah, hasta la see ya, people. Like, comment, subscribe, and all that fun stuff. Bye!